Welcome back to another episode of Your Daily Real Estate. I'm Tristan. Let's talk about building your business. And this is from personal experience. I remember when I first started in real estate, when I realized I needed help was when I had too many transactions going on at one time. I believe it was 25. Well, hold on. I think at one time I had 12, and I was like, this is too many. I can't handle it because I need to go show property. I need to follow up with people. And so I was like, how can I do this? So then somebody told me about a transaction coordinator because first of all, I sucked at paperwork. And I thought, well, let's expand on that. So that's where this idea starts from. So now I've got a staff of over 50 people that help me do lots of different things. And this is not just in real estate, but if I'm looking back and saying, where do I start as far as growing a business for real estate, not necessarily hiring a buyer's agent or a listing agent, but more on the staff side, right? Based on where we're going, based on what we're doing, I would tell you that you're probably looking at hiring a transaction coordinator first as well. Now, this could be just a transaction coordinator, just a simple transaction coordinator. By the way, there's nothing simple about it. They're lifesavers and I love them. So that would be number one. Number two, you could go the other direction and hire an admin, an executive admin. In fact, I call them a director of operations because they're going to grow into this position as you start building a bigger business. And this director of operations could, in essence, do the work that a transaction coordinator does, because my director of ops would be the ideal one. They would handle the transaction coordinating. If I've got like 5 transactions, so they stay on top of it. They would handle the lead coordinating. If I'm getting online leads coming through, not a lot, just a few. They make sure that all the systems are in place, that they're flowing indirectly into the CRM correctly, and just that those processes are in place. They would also be my director of technology, right? So think about these pieces, right? You now have a TC, possible TC. You now have a possible lead coordinator. You now have a possible director of technology. They're in charge of making sure that you have the right systems in place and that those systems are working. That means they're looking at not only your CRM, but they're also looking at your newsletter. They're also looking at making sure that the leads that you're purchasing, if you are purchasing, are correct, that you have all of the right referral companies in place like Ojo, OpCity, Stately, Agent Pronto, all of these, and that the rest of that tech that your local MLS offers and your brokerage offer are all in place and you're using them and they're being optimized. Right? That's a lot. Next, I would say my director of operations could be my marketing director. And in fact, they were for a while. And that marketing director is somebody who's going to be in charge of my social media. They're in charge of making sure that the flyers are created correctly for every listing I get. They're in charge of really uploading the information into the MLS, making sure that the postcards are done, making sure that the ads are being sent out, Facebook lead ads, Instagram lead ads, all ads being created, and every listing is being marketed correctly on Zillow and all the other sites, right? And then I would say you also have now your director of ops could also be your concierge or your director of communications to your core sphere, core past clients. They're in charge of reaching out to those when you're not able to, so that they're inviting them to events. They're sending them the notes that they're supposed to. And this is like your core past clients. It doesn't have to be everybody, right? And then they could also be, in essence, your creative director, somebody who's in charge of making sure that your videos are done right, if they have that technological savviness. Not all of them do, right? Taking a look at SEO, maybe YouTube, video editor, whatever your director of ops can do. All of those things I mentioned are all things that you can hire for. And you don't necessarily just need to have one person that encompasses all. I'm just saying at the beginning, your director of operations is going to wear many hats. And I just wanted to give you an idea of where you're going. And what you can do. I've got an org chart for this. I call it my virtual staff org structure. If you need it, I've outlined it. It's got some details for each one of these, and it goes a lot further as well. So let me know if you do need it. I'll send it over. Have an awesome day. We'll talk again.